people of God. As we gather to reflect on the incidents at the cross, we reflect particularly on the civil trial of Jesus under Herod. Interestingly, Jesus is sent to Herod by Pilate as a way of avoiding having to deal with the situation. Pilate recognizes that Jesus is from Galilee, which is under Herod's political jurisdiction. So he sends him off to try to get him off his hands. Herod is delighted when he learns that the accused that has been sent for him to exercise power over is none other than Jesus, this Galilean that he had heard about, one who was doing signs and wonders. The text in Luke 23, between verses 6 and 12, tells us that Herod rubbed his hands in glee at the prospect of seeing Jesus perform some kind of sign, some display of the mysterious and the magical. He questions Jesus, but Jesus does not allow him to exercise any kind of weight of power over him. Jesus simply responds to his question, "You have said so." Herod quickly realizes that Jesus is not up for his games. So he then moves from fake admiration to outright abuse by way of mockery. So the text tells us that they put a robe on him and they begin to mock him, Herod and his soldiers. They make a mockery of him. I want to pull from this trial a single thought, the question of where really lies the motive, the real motive for the interest that you have in Jesus. Is it a utilitarian motive? That is, a motive of what's in it for me? What can I get out of it? That's where Herod's interests lay. There, only there, and nowhere else. Let me say why I say that. As a political ruler, as the political ruler with responsibility over Galilee, where Jesus was born and grew up and raised and so on, Herod would have heard of the miracles of Jesus and wanted to see him do a sign. Not because he believed in the power of Jesus, it was purely from a narrow self interest and entertainment perspective. That's all Jesus was to him, entertainment, to amuse one's self, not a kind of soul transforming interest, the pursuit of Jesus for the sake of Jesus, the pursuit of Jesus for Jesus' own sake. Had Herod had a genuine interest in Jesus, he would have had no restrictions to access to Jesus. Jesus was not in hiding. Jesus was there performing the miracles. So his interest was only entertainment. Now that Jesus was sent to him, he, of course, wanted to see that on display. Now, if we go back to the temptation of Jesus, this is precisely a repeat of the third temptation, rather, when Satan challenged him to throw himself down from the top of the temple, to put on a magical display, to put on a display of his power, to amaze and to entertain, to put it on display. That's what Herod was doing. Show me a sign. I'm eager to see this man perform a sign so that he could have sport, he could get some amusement. Nothing else, no other interest. Now, for many persons, that's all Jesus is to them: a source of entertainment, a source of personal tickling of their fancy, a source of titivation. I want to challenge us that our pursuit of Jesus, our desire to see Jesus, must go beyond satisfying our basal instinct, our desire to be pleased and have our selfish self stimulated. That we pursue Jesus for Jesus' sake and for the power that we recognize who he is, and we want that and nothing else. That it is about him and not about us. So when he recognized that Jesus was not up for his games, he heaped mockery on Jesus. They made a laughing specter of him. Let's clarify our motive. Why are you interested in seeing Jesus? Is it about you and your own pleasure? Or is it about the pursuit of the glory of God? I submit to us that it should be the latter. God bless you.